And the family's like, okay, noted. Now this family had equity, which a lot of families have equity right now, by the way, guys. And she said, you could buy this new home non-contingent, so you get the best deal and your offer gets accepted. And then when you sell your other home, you could recast the loan. So you could take your 125,000 in equity, recast your mortgage, and your payment would actually go down $164. Guys, this is the mortgage coach value. She could also show them, hey, if you took that money, the proceeds from your sale, and you invested them, they were earning 8% on average, but she estimated it 6%. You guys, look at this. This is the mortgage coach home run. She was able to, like, in a matter of minutes, like 2 to 5 minutes, refi versus move up, look at the net worth increase. So guys, let's net this out. This family was looking for a refi, and she was able to improve their cash flow or their liquidity by 125,000. She was able to improve their net worth over 15 years based off of the family's assumptions on appreciation rates, and they got their dream home. And what else? The realtor gets a listing, and the realtor gets a move-up buyer. So I am hearing also, because there's not a lot of listings, a lot of inventory out there, that a lot of mortgage coach loan officers, they're doing the refi and they're turning it over for a move-up. So they're ending up, getting the refi and referring it to a realtor. Might take 6 months, might take a year, but at least they're starting that conversation. So those are a couple ideas and strategies. I think Brian was talking to you about this. This is mortgage strategy. So it isn't a mortgage strategy if you're not delivering options. It isn't a mortgage strategy if you're not showing how those options compare over time. And you're not a mortgage planner or mortgage advisor if you're not showing strategies to pay off homes faster, or strategies like this one with Amber, where it's invest the difference. So if you have questions, bring them in. If you've got a question for me, I'm just popping in to tell a couple stories and show a few strategies. So if you have a question for me, let me know now. And Brian, I'll hand it back to you to show them how to do all this stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for setting the table there, Dave. Appreciate it. Thanks for the content that you provided. All right. Well, one thing as you folks are thinking, and again, any last minute questions that you may have for Dave, please go ahead and, oh, looks like he's already gone. He did the last call and he's gone. All right. I want to make sure that you folks understand, we touched on, a couple resources for you. Many of you are very new to the workshop. How to, what is a strategy, where to locate that information on our website. But also, if you get stuck and you're building a mortgage coach presentation, your time is very valuable to you. And I really don't want you folks to sit there and struggle with trying to build a mortgage coach presentation. Fastest way for you to get help is to use the chat bubble icon that you might have seen me click on in the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom right-hand corner, click on chat. That'll get you in touch with one of our support team members. We have a team that's available to answer your mortgage coach questions Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then Dave mentioned a couple top producers that are, killing it with Mortgage Coach. And if you'd like more information from them, you can go to our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, highly encourage you to do so, because that's where you get the content from top producers. Like you mentioned, Amber Kovarik and how she's managing her time. You can get the full call by going to our subscribing to our YouTube channel and going there. And we also have a Facebook group, and I'm sure many of you are already part of that, but just want to make sure that if you're not, join our Facebook group, and that way you can get content, ask questions. It's a whole community of people that are dedicated to helping each other, and why not be part of that? All right, so to dive in now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and utilize that. I think I'll start off with, since it's fresh on everybody's mind, I'm just going to go ahead and do the Amber Kovarik move up refi scenario. So the importance of that, I hope that you caught it, and Dave provided you that slide, and I hope you got that screenshot. 4 key questions that you want to ask your clients when you're potentially looking to do a refinance for them. And then one of them, the big one, and put your scripting around it, is, how is your current home working for you now? How does it fit your needs? And, that way you can transition and paint that picture for them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that particular presentation. Let's see here. I have several up here to get in preparation for today's workshop. Here it is. Okay. And what I'd like to do as well is show you a way that you can connect with your clients in a very powerful way, especially in today's day and age where, you know, you're meeting with a lot of your clients in a different way. I mean, you're not able to meet with your clients face to face, or you may not even want to meet with your clients face to face in the same room with you. And you might be doing, you know, a lot of presentations by phone. I'm curious, is anybody meeting with your clients using some type of a web-based format? I'm always curious, like Zoom, like what we're doing right now, WebEx, GoToMeeting. Is anybody utilizing that, that process? If you are, go ahead and raise your hand. So what I'm going to show you next is it's really powerful for helping you make the most of your time and how to meet with a lot of clients in a short period of time, and using Mortgage Coach along with, you know, getting them on the phone, or, you know, doing some type of a web-based format. Michael, I'm going to have to get that slide from Dave because that was on his deck, but I will ask for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the session is being recorded. So what I'll do is I'll follow up with a recording of it, and I'll also try and get those 4 questions, that slide shot for everybody as well, because it is very important. So what I've done is I placed that link, the link to this particular presentation in the chat area. So as I was mentioning, this is a very powerful way to meet with your clients and interact with them in a live environment. And I see a couple of you have already clicked on it. I don't know if you've been in previous workshops and already knew what I was going to ask you to do. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Click on that link. So if you haven't clicked on the link that I provide in the chat area, please go ahead and do so, because it's going to give you access to the presentation. I'm not going to delete it. You can copy it if it's something that you see that you like and kind of get a better understanding of it. But what I'm also going to do is have you sit in the seat of the borrower so you can see how you can walk a borrower through a presentation just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the advice engine here, and I'm going to start off, like I said, just as if, you know, you folks are my borrowers, and I'm going to show you the experience that you can provide to your clients. Let me get out of, get this little chat bubble out of there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start off, like I said, as if you were the borrower, those of you that have clicked on the link, and I am going to walk you through the presentation. Okay, so what I've done now is I have removed, I don't know if you saw it had current, cash flow, and move up on it. And I'm going to start off the conversation by, you know, giving the borrower what they want. They contacted me. They were interested in, you know, an opportunity to refinance. What can you do for me for a refinance? So I'm going to use that as a starting point. And what I'm also going to do is, once I've got the borrower on the phone, and what I would suggest that you do is you send the link to them just prior to getting them on the phone or having them join the webinar with you, because you want to be present with them, listening to them, and able to get their feedback about what you're presenting to them. You don't want them to absorb everything without you being present to gather their feedback, not only by what they're telling you, but also by, you know, what they're not telling you by how they're saying it, right? You're listening for what they're saying, but you're also listening for how they're telling it to you. So you can, like I said, send it to them right before you you pick up the phone and get on the phone with them, or if you have a web-based format that you're going to be doing, do it right before that. And then once they click on the link, you're going to get notifications sent to you. So this alert notification is triggered by them just clicking on that link. So that's important for you because you know that they have clicked on the link, and secondly, you're getting a return on your investment. You don't get that return on your investment by sending somebody a feed. Do they read it? Do they look at it? I don't know. How long did they look at it? No clue. You don't get that feedback. So you're going to get an instant return on by sending them a Mortgage Coach presentation, by that email alert. And then if you look up here in the top right-hand corner, I can see 3 of you had followed my instructions and clicked on that link. So 3 of you are following along and getting the borrower's experience. So perfect. So what I might do is, conversation by review the terms of their loan, just to make sure that everything accurate. So maybe their current interest rate, maybe their monthly payment, how long they've already invested in the loan, what their taxes and what their insurance are, just to confirm that I have all the details correct. And then I can go ahead and transition. And by the way, as I'm highlighting here in live, you folks should be able to confirm it, the 3 people that have clicked on it. Please raise your hand like as I highlighted that. Okay, perfect, good. Got Jasmine, you're quick on the trigger. You were the first one to respond, awesome. Okay. So you can use this as a way to guide your clients through the mortgage options that you're going to present to them. So now let's take a look at what we could potentially do for you. Well, we could go ahead and reduce your interest rate from 4.25% to 3.375. That'll drop your payment down to $2,112.59. That's going to save you $210.01. And then you can get their feedback on them. And one thing that is kind of a pillar of utilizing Mortgage Coach and connecting with your clients and being able to convert at a higher level is, and I'll put this slide in the area for you, is that we feel very strongly that there's 3 ways to making a smart mortgage decision for your clients. And you always want to think of these 3 things when you're presenting loan options and building a total cost analysis for a client. And that is, you know, are you giving them options? Take a look at the presentation now. I've only provided them a single option, right? And I placed that borrower in a position where they can only respond to me in 1 of 2 ways. The way that you're hoping for, yes, that sounds great, let's go ahead and get started, or no, you really don't want to put your borrower in a position where in 1 of 2 ways. That's why it's so important to provide them options. What could the options be? Maybe the same product, a lower rate, having them pay a little bit of cost to do that. And then you could use analysis areas over here to just confirm that that's going to be the best decision based on the amount of time that they're going to be in the house. What is the lowest total cost based upon the time that you plan on being in the house? So you can use those analysis areas. Or what Amber's doing and what Dave suggested that we have a discussion on in today's workshop is presenting them also the opportunity to potentially move up. What would it look like if you were to take the equity that you have in your home and move up rather than utilize that savings, actually move up? And let me just give myself a little bit more here. Let me go ahead and go next. There we go. It should appear on the presentation now. If I have the right one, I might be looking at the wrong one here. I had a couple up here. There it is. Okay, cool. Had me concerned there for a second. Confused myself. Okay, so this is what it might look like for a borrower to, and this was set up that when you got that rate hit for refis versus purchases, so the rates might be a little bit closer into sync with one another. But this is showing them what they could potentially do by moving up and putting a very small down payment down and keeping some money, if you will, keeping some paper dry to feel a little bit more secure in the environment that we're in right now. it might help your borrower sleep a little bit more calmly if they know that they've got some, savings in an investment account or in a bank account, in case something were to happen. So this is what that particular picture is. And you can show them that if they take all the money that they get from the sale of their existing home and apply it to it, and what their monthly payment might look like. But I just wanted to point out in this particular example, they're going to put the minimum down payment, say like 5% down, take advantage of the lower interest rates. Yes, their payment will increase. If you look down here, you can see that they're going to have some nice money in their account. And this is showing what it's going to look like over a period of 15 years. But, like I said, in these times, being able to move up, being able to get the home of your dreams and have some money in the bank. So when, you get that the Murphy Law knocking at your door, that the water heater's gone out, you need a new car, the car needs fixed or whatever, you've got something in reserves to go ahead and take care of that for you. Or, maybe there's a gap in your employment that you need a little bit of, funds available for you. So this is the picture that you're going to paint. And then, like I said, you could do the recast. I'll go ahead and I'll bring that one up to paint the picture that, let's go ahead and take all of that money and apply it towards moving up, or do the recast and then see the impact that's going to have on your payment. So you can see it's a smaller impact, and they're going to take the sale or the proceeds and apply it towards that. Or they could do a combination, a certain portion of it going towards, doing the principal reduction for the recast, or a portion of it going into savings account. There's just so many different ways that you could go based upon the motivation of your client. So that's why it's so important to ask right questions to help you paint the picture so that you can tell the story behind that. So this is, when you're working with your client, and then as Dave mentioned, Amber works at scripting into her interview with the client. How does your current home fit your needs? And kind of plant a seed in their head that, you're working from home. You said your wife's working from home. You guys are heating over the office, and who having the work in the dining room. Have you thought about doing a move up? And in doing so, you're not only showing them something that they may not have considered, but making yourself stand out, and you're creating the opportunity to send referral business to your realtor partners, and then potentially get more business through referrals, and also more transactions. So any questions behind the strategy that's implemented, and how you can use Mortgage Coach to have those type of questions with your clients? I'm just going to pause here for a second and see if you guys have any questions. All right. What I'm going to do is another refi strategy, if you will. And let me bring this one up. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And again, for those of you that have clicked on the link, you had the borrower's experience, you were able to be walked through that, but now you also have access to that link. So if you want to copy that link, you'll be able to do so in your own Mortgage Coach account and provide it to your clients when the need comes. Remember that strategy. You may not use it with every single client. Maybe not everybody's going to candidate for a move up, but that's a tool in your toolbox that you have available for when the situation fits for that situation. Let me show you another refi scenario here. And again, I'll take the link to particular presentation and put it in the chat area for you folks. There you go. Okay, so if you'd like to have the borrower's experience on this one as well, if you'd like to have this particular link, access to it so that you can copy it, please go ahead and click on that link so that you're welcome to do so. All right, so for this particular example, remember I told you earlier, starting off here, here's the borrower's current, you confirm the details with them, you're presenting them with a single option, and again, we said that that's probably not the best strategy because you don't want to position your borrower to being able to respond just yes or no. So what you're going to want to do is provide them with options. And here's a couple options that could be helpful for you. So first off, as I mentioned, providing them the same product option, but a different rate, okay? Different rate. And where can you utilize or how can you utilize the analysis areas to have a conversation with them? So let me go ahead and show you how you would do that. Okay, so in looking at the presentation, single option, add a second option at the same rate, or excuse me, at a different rate. Same product, different rate. So this is cash, and you see that I've labeled the products cash flow. You can label the products anything that you feel fit. So this is cash flow option 2. I'm showing a lower rate and the impact that's going to have on the monthly payment. Looks like they're going to be able to save another $50 or so. And then how can you have a conversation with them utilizing these analysis areas over here? If you take a look here, see where it says savings over 17 months in this analysis area? Anybody have an idea as to why I chose 17 months? What is, in other words, you know, you folks are mortgage professionals, you understand mortgages. What is that picture showing the borrower right now? What is it showing savings over 17 months? What is that going to mean to you? How could you share the content there? And what would you want to point out? That's the break-even point. The break-even point. So for the borrower to be in the loan 17 months, cash flow option 1 is basically they're in the green now. So at 17 months, that's where that particular loan option makes sense for them and allows them to start getting the benefit of the refinance. So as long as they're going to be in the house 7 months, they'll be able to recoup the costs and begin savings at that particular point. How that's broken down here. So you can click on the more info button here. Here's the interest that they would pay on their current loan in the next 17 months. Here's the interest that they would pay on the cash flow option 1, cash flow option 2. You might have noticed that there's a lower interest on cash flow option 2, right? About, what is that? A little over $2,000. But what you also have to take into consideration are the costs to acquire that loan. And because the cash flow option 2 is at a significantly lower interest rate, there's additional costs that are associated with it. And it's going to take them longer to get the benefit of that particular option. And you could dial it in for them. So if you have a borrower that's, you know, dead set on having a particular interest rate, you can show them the additional costs and show them the time horizon. Make sure it makes sense for them based upon how long that they're going to be in that house. So this is the break for cash flow option 1. And I'm doing that, the way that you would make adjustments is right here in the analysis area. So if I went to, say, 16 months, you'll see that it'll no longer be yellow, it'll actually be red by $101. So all I did is I went in there and adjusted the months in the analysis area until I was able to get cash flow option into a positive position here. I could do the same here for that cash flow option 2. I'll go ahead and I'll bump it up to, say, 33 months. So 33 months goes by, and it looks like they're now positive there, maybe 30. Let's see what that does. Yeah, 31 months. Okay, so in 31 months, from that point going forward, cash flow option 2 will put them in and start saving them more money. And you can utilize this analysis area. What some mortgage professionals do is they'll put their competitors' offer. Like if you're competing for somebody, and yeah, they provided you with an interest rate, but let's look at those extra costs that you're going to have to pay to get that. Does it make sense for you? So you can put the competitor's offer in a side-by-side position up against yours. So just a couple things for you to take into consideration as to what type of conversations that you can have with cash flow option 1 and cash flow option 2. Another thing that you could do that's very helpful, a lot of mortgage professionals are doing, is they're showing them not only, here's your refi opportunity, you're going to save $210.01, but if you maintain the same payments that you're currently making now, you're making a payment of $2322.60. If you maintain the same payment that you're making right now, but on the new loan, it will actually decrease the time that's going to take to pay off your loan by 3 years. So you go down to about 3.5 years, actually. It'll decrease the term. And then right over here, you can use this analysis area to paint that picture with the client. It's going to save them a huge amount of money. Now, if you look at that, this is the amount of interest that they're going to pay on their current loan in the next 27.5 years. Because remember, they're going to pay it off in 27.5 years. This is the amount of interest that they're going to pay in 24.17 years, and the loan will be paid off. Because they're both going to be paid off in less than 30 years. But if you take a look at it, that's going to save the borrower over $70,000 interest over that time horizon. If you were to ask the borrower, can I show you a way to save $70,000 over the life of the mortgage? Do you think that they're going to say no to you? Most likely not, right? And the really cool thing about that is that you're showing them something that they will always remember you by. We call it creating a STAR moment. You want to write down that acronym STAR, S-T-A-R. And when you're presenting loan options to your clients, you want to try and create as many STAR moments as you possibly can with that client, because the more STAR moments, the more they're going to remember you, the more you're going to stand out, and the higher your conversion is going to be. So keep that in mind when you're presenting loan options to your clients. Let's go ahead and transition now to another option that you can do. For anybody that wants to form a relationship with a financial advisor, you can show them that take that savings that you're getting and put it into an investment account, and then work in the financial advisor, either their financial advisor or your financial advisor, into the conversation, so that you have this mutual client now. Work that into the conversation and look at the picture that you can paint for them here. So now showing them, take that money that you're saving, $210.01, and put it into an investment account. So you can see it is going to reset the clock, but what are they going to be able to accomplish in that 30 years? How is that going to help them with their net worth? See this analysis area? It's set up right now, interest in 30 years. If you're going to have a conversation about, making an investment in an investment account and net worth, you're going to want to show them what their net worth is going to look like. And you can come down here in the analysis area and change the long-term chart type. Let's change it to net worth. And let's see what that picture looks like, and then some scripting that you could use when you have a conversation with it. So here you go. Let's take a look at it. We'll let it refresh. Yeah, it says net worth in 30 years. And by the way, maybe 30 years is too long for them. Maybe they were planning on retiring in 20 years. Maybe they knew that they have a college education that they have for in 18 years. You can make adjustments to the time horizon that's going to be appropriate for the picture that you want to paint with the client. I'm just doing a refresh here, so that graph refreshes a little bit more quickly here. So now if you take a look, here's the picture that you're painting again. This is worth in 30 years, and you might notice that there's actually two colors that are associated with that that investment option. You have the green, which is property appreciation, the gold with investment portion. Your borrower can get more information about that by clicking here. So what they're going to do, and this is where you get the financial advisor's advice, 6% rate of return, 6% rate of return on a monthly basis, investing their savings into that investment account. Well, they're going to have a total investment of $184,000 and a total net worth of $1.6 million. That's making assumption of a 4% property appreciation rate. There again, you can make adjustments there for your particular area. But now you have a conversation once again, and you're painting a picture with your client that your competition isn't. You're able to have a different type of conversation that will help you transition away from this area, which is very transaction-oriented details. What's your rate? What's your fees? I mean, it's not that you don't have to have that conversation, but you know, everybody you have to have that conversation with, but that doesn't have to be the only area that you're with your clients about, right? Now you can paint a bigger picture for them and show them something that they'll always remember you. So I'm going to go into wrap-up mode. I just want to make sure that I've answered any questions that you've had, pointed out the different resources that you have available. As I mentioned, I've recorded this call and I will follow up with you. And I think it was Michael, you were looking for that slide that Dave showed, the 4 questions to ask. I'm also going to put the link, you guys, an opportunity to ask any last minute questions that you have. I'm going to put the link to the 3 essentials. That's in the chat area for you. Keep that slide in mind, the 3 essentials to smart mortgage decisions when building a total cost. Are you covering many as possible? You know, providing them options. Are you able to have a conversation based upon the time horizon that they provided you? Are you helping them either prepay their mortgage, do an investment, or pay off debt more quickly? Those are ways that you can leverage the technology that you have access to, like I said, transition the call away from just what's your rate, what's your fees. I need to get you off the phone because I have to call, you know, a couple other lenders and get their rate and fees. All right, guys. Well, I don't see any questions. I don't see any additional information in the chat area. I hope that you liked the presentation today. Like I said, the workshop is every Wednesday, and we put the poll question up. We don't always have to talk about refis. There's a lot of opportunity to talk about other strategies. So you're welcome to attend as many of these as you like. All right. Have a great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.